Welcome to the last match of the evening. We are on Newkirk Precinct, spawning to the bottom right-hand corner in orange, playing Protoss for Rival Gaming, and the USA, it's Koshkii. And to the bottom left, spawning as Purple Zerk, playing for All Inspiration, and the US as well, it's WyScion. The new player on the field, first season for her in the FSL. If you want to know more about her, if you want to have some information, just check the FSL webpage under players and then click her picture. It will lead you towards the extended profile. Ooh, and WyScion moving out with a drone fairly early on. Probe already scouting this, plants a hatchery down here, but what does she want to do with that drone over here? Maybe just get a good scout. I know that WyScion has actually seen a lot of Koshkii streams and has of course also watched her games inside or within Season 2. So she knows what kind of player Koshkii is and that she likes her strong timing attacks and cheeses. So she rather just wanted to scout the edges of her own, or the outskirts, you might say, of her own base in order to make sure that she's not getting four-gated while hatching first. In the meantime, Koshkii also wants to see if her opponent has gone for a very, very greedy third base there, but that is not about to happen. Nexus down for Koshkii as well. WyScion sees that it's just a standard opening, does not really need to go any further into the base, since she sees that all the buildings are down here. So there's nothing she could see inside the main base, except maybe for the gas count, which would also be not all too worrying for her. Ugh, hard supply block for WyScion right at the get-go. But it's over now, once the hatchery pops. So a lot of people are expecting a lot out of WyScion, knowing that she is a player who's actually capable of having Grandmaster MMR if she actually bores us to play enough. So she's definitely a favorite this season to take the win, but we have a lot of players who want to deny her that victory. Koshkii being among them. So let's see if she will be able to give her a difficult start into the season. Maybe even surprising us by taking her down. So, Robotics Facility Twilight done. WyScion knows everything. Sees all of the tech. Knows that probably some immortal Warp Prism based push is headed her way. Dark Shrine already in production. Seems as if this time around she might even want to trick her opponent, thinking that it might be an immortal based push. Although actually, by just seeing the Twilight Council, not researching anything and seeing the Robotics Facility, WyScion might even assume that it's going to be Dark Templars. So let's see what's getting produced. Should actually be a Warp Prism. There it is. But I think Koshkii really wants to get rid of that pesky overlord over here. So, kills that one off before I think it actually scouts, let's see, before it actually scouts the Dark Shrine. Was tucked back behind far enough. Hydrolist then incoming for WyScion. Third base not yet getting saturated. She's still busy saturating the natural base, but is already producing 5 more drones. That will help her having a good economy, a good and strong economy at her natural base. Might then get into saturating that one, but of course she knows that a push is about to happen kinda soonish, so she probably doesn't want to overcommit into droning. Wants to have at least a few units that might help her. We have the Warp Prism moving around, but the Overlord spreading is just impeccable. So no way for Koshkii to hide anything. There's another Overlord. You really see Koshkii moving in, saying, okay, I stand in here, can warp in it. Oh no, an Overlord. Well, maybe then an Overlord. Well, maybe then back here. And now finally she finds the point. Okay, does not even want to use Dark Templars, but morphs them into Archons straight away, which unfortunately would have even worked better with DTs, because there's no detection whatsoever back here. She does have a lair, so she can of course always morph an Overseer, but it would take some time, and in the meantime the DTs could just wreak havoc inside the main base. But yeah, I mean the Archons will still do some sort of damage as well. Not as much as the DTs maybe. So WyScion still having enough time in order to get all of her links, all of her drones to safety. We'll just surround the Archons here, but the Archons can of course get picked up maybe a little bit too soon, but Koshkii realizes that there are Hydralisks in the match as well. So still one, that's of course the one good thing here. Koshkii managed to get, ooh, nice little move there. Okay, actually the Overlord came in as well. I thought she just exploded those by hand in order to take out the undetected unit, but there was an Overseer as well. So never mind. Everything just quite in time for WyScion here. Managed to just defend everything properly without taking too many heavy damages. And going for a very, very quick lurker play here. After playing all of these Hydras, Koshkii might assume it, since she's already seen that there were a lot of Hydras in the mix with a Warp Prism. So let's see how her reaction. She's already transitioning into Templar Archives, knows that she will need something against all of these Hydras. It's been a long day, people, so please bear with me. WyScion retreats for now, but will not forever. Will it be enough time for Koshkii to get out Storm? Because I think she really wants to go into Storm. Getting more gateways out, but it's still on a 2-base economy. Koshkii is pretty all in. The next move either has to win her the game or deal almost game-ending damage to her opponent. And of course she still has to hold whatever her opponent is sending towards her. She does not know yet. But WyScion is already morphing some lurkers here. Koshkii does not even have an observer with the army, if I'm not mistaken. So this could actually be an instant GG. If Koshkii actually was to move out right into the burrowed lurkers, she might just instantly GG. Realizing that she does not have a chance whatsoever against this army. Sonic Storm finally incoming, not even getting chrono boosted, so this will take quite some time to get finished. And will also only be so helpful. Oh, WyScion's still waiting, is probably thinking that Koshkii will move towards her, so that she doesn't have to come to her. She still knows that her opponent has not taken a third base yet, so no need for her to quickly run for a fourth without having proper defenses up. Because with Koshkii only being on 2 bases, she still has to account for a push like this. And here it comes, actually maybe the best engagement that Koshkii could have actually gotten, because the lurkers still haven't been able to burrow. Does she have anything? No, she does not. And that is really sad to see now, people. Ladies and gents. Yeah. Oh, nice little feedback there on the Overseer. So she could now actually warp in DTs. Would be a possibility. She does have 2 Warp Prisms available. Will take out the third base over here. The only forces WyScion has right now are the lurkers, but she always needs to burrow and unburrow them. While there's not much else here to help her defend. Now she finally gets a few more Hydralisks as well. Does have the links out as well. I mean, Koshkii really needs to do something with this push, but she's taking a third base behind it. So she does not need to go all in anymore. And I think she will not. Might as well just only contain her opponent for a little bit longer. I don't know if she really wants to attack up that ramp. Oh, I don't know. The observer is there, so finally she will be able to take out the lurkers, but not before most of her ground forces have already been taken out. So the observer just arriving a little bit too late, not really revealing all of these lurkers right from the start. So a lot of these units actually get killed before the lurkers get killed, and it seems as if she might just barely be able... No. Oh, unfortunately, not quite. But the second force of units is coming in. Losing that Immortal, of course, is a bit hurting. I don't know if WyScion is actually assuming another push that early on. Actually, it seems as if she just wanted to send a drone over here, but the second push of Koshkii is already in position. Another Overseer gets morphed. WyScion must think that her opponent, or must account for the fact that her opponent could warp in ETs. The rest of the army just warping, just moving forwards. The Archons just dishing out so much damage and also tanking so much damage as well. Usually an only Hydralisk force not that potent against Speedlot Archon here. Still doing a tremendous amount of keeping this army forces back. Will just barely not be able to kill that Archon here, remaining with just 3 forces, and Koshkii takes the first map. Belcher Vestige is our second map. We have Koshkii to the top left hand side and WyScion to the bottom right. Koshkii managing to break through WyScion's defenses with her typical sharp timing attacks that made her infamous throughout Season 2 of the FSL. But she's known to be a player like this ever since Season 1 started, and maybe even before that. Putting some fear and respect into her opponent, if it hasn't been there already, of course. Blocking the hatch a little bit, WyScion trying to take the base down here, but cannot really get it. Koshkii will probably retreat in the last moment. Not the person to actually pylon block a base. Very rarely have I seen that done by her. So at the same time, WyScion also trying to do the same thing, the hatchery. We have a proxy hatchery for WyScion happening. Let's see how Koshkii is going to react. We have to say that WyScion is known for proxy hatcheries. Her signature build is actually the infamous double proxy hatchery build. So you must never, never, ever underestimate a proxy hatch being built by WyScion. She knows her builds. So I don't know if Koshkii's reaction is actually worthwhile and will actually be enough. Waiting for the cybernetics core, getting the first zealot out, trying to help taking out that hatchery over here, but that will not be enough to take the hatchery down. I don't know if WyScion actually wants to commit. Seems as if she just wants to keep the opponent busy and wants to keep the nexus from being planted down, so it might just be a delaying hatchery here, with no desire whatsoever to eventually get it up. Koshkii just waltz off as best as she can. So if units were to move over here, yeah, I think she will cancel it just the last second. Yeah, already going for third. No, does not. That were links, never mind. Or won't she? Whoa, actually letting it finish. That's fairly interesting. Don't really know if that was a wise decision. Whoops. So that was a bit of a blunder. Like I said, didn't really want to let this finish. 300 minerals down the drain. Might at least get a few units here. Nah, not really. So at least denying the base for a little bit more, because now the creep has to retreat as well before she can finally plant down the base. But yeah, losing 300 minerals for it, don't know if it was actually worth it. It might be. So taking her third base off her own, in the meantime knowing that her opponent is probably going for a Nexus now, so she will have some time indeed, applying some more pressure towards her opponent by attacking the cybernetics core. Adepts unfortunately not moving forward. Koshkii! Oh, what are you doing? So finally, she could now easily put the Zealot in here, get the Adept, and take out these Lings over here. But yeah, they didn't do any real damage anyways, only nibbled away at the shields a little bit. That will replenish in a matter of seconds only. So, Stargate incoming for Koshkii. Does WyScion? No, she does. So nothing will surprise her actually. Oracle incoming, but WyScion should put down, I think, oh, maybe she's just relying on queens to defend, but she puts down a Spore Crawler here, and might even put one down here, but it's not really necessary if you don't have any drones here. Just later on you might want to have one. So, But they might be going one. They might be down. Yeah, okay. Just plants one down so that you will be able to saturate this base later on and will not always be threatened by the Oracle that might come in and pick off a few drones here and there. That would be pretty annoying. And over here, yeah, planting down the Spore Crawler as well, but also has 2 queens in position. So not all too problematic. It's now starting with a creep. Sees the links down here. So WyScion knows now that the Oracle is on its way. Was expecting it anyways. Second Oracle incoming as well. Seems as if Koshkii wants to do the poison build. Or the Know Me build, depending on whoever claims to be the first one to have used it. I think that would be Know Me. Mars Oracle build was Know Me's specialty. German Protoss player. German GM Protoss player. So WyScion having a good vision of all the things to come. Trying, no, we'll actually get that Adept over here. Or maybe not, Koshkii just trying to bring it to safety, but getting it. So nice little trade there for the few links she lost herself. Losing 3 links for an Adept is okay. So we have the Oracle over here, third base being taken, but WyScion knows about it. Oracle just retreating. Realizing that won't be able to deal that much any damage at all, so just still waiting. What's about the second Oracle? Did she cancel it? No, it's over here, so never mind. Could even do multi-prong Oracle harassment, but got a Void Ray right behind it in order to take out that first Overlord here. So maybe, ooh, even getting a Stasis Ward, putting a real poison here with her Oracles. Koshkii is. So maybe Koshkii actually wants to go into an Air Force. She has been experimenting with that lately. So might just want to go into carriers later on, getting the Golden Armada up. I think she actually beat a lot of SFL players, a lot of FSL Zerg players with it last season, after realizing that it's quite a good tactic to use against Zerg. Well, throwing down like a lot of stasis wards here would be really difficult for WyScion to engage any point on the map. Especially since they are cloaked. Fleet Beacon coming up, and like I said, the double Stargate carrier build, turtle into carrier. Let's see if it's going to work out or not. In the meantime, WyScion just comfortably taking a 4th, knowing that her opponent is not going to pressure her seriously anytime soon. But Koshkii will need a few more defenses over here, I feel. Should maybe even wall off that area, or at least build a few more buildings over here. Maybe some static D as well. In the meantime, just using the Void Rays to clear off the skies of pesky overlords, even supply blocking her opponent. Nice move there. Even having a revelation on the army, so she will always be able to see once the army moves out. Nice move as well. And getting 2 additional Stargates even in order to get the air unit production going. So now we will sit here a little bit, ladies and gentlemen, waiting for the Golden Armada to arrive, which will take a little bit of time. WyScion in the meantime trying to deal some damage before the air army is out and unbeatable for Hydras. Okay, nice little move there. Yeah, actually sees that there are stasis wards out on the map. Does not really want to engage with pure Hydras if there might be a stasis ward up that ramp. So she just moves towards the 4th, checks if one is there, but there isn't. Doesn't know about this location though, but we'll probably check later. Okay, Oracle just tagging at least the Overseer here. And now we'll see, yeah, okay, she realizes immediately that's way too many Adepts here and also a lot of Void Rays. Sure, Void Rays on their own, and only if you have a few of them, are not really good against Hydras, but the Adepts, of course, do fairly good against them, since they do extra damage to light units, which Hydras are. But of course, if the force actually manages to get big enough, it might be problematic. WyScion just waiting for the Lurker then to finish, will then have a few Lurkers that can deal easily with this small of a ground force, and then might be able to pick off these Void Rays quite easily with her remaining Hydras. So there's the Banes. Yeah, Banes actually could do the same trick. Still, Koshkii knows everything that's going on, but her army is kind of squishy. It's not guaranteed that she will stand a chance against these forces, So triggered this one as well. Now finally the first carrier is out. 2 more carriers will arrive in a few seconds. And once these 2 more carriers are out, it will be way more difficult to WyScion to engage. So let's see, she has kind of a good point, does not need to find within the choke point. Will now try to focus down most of these air units. It's only Void Rays and 1 carrier. Most of the interceptors get shot down by the Hydralisk without focus firing that were not focus firing the carrier here. And now it seems as if WyScion will just hit the timing window of opportunity in order to take out Koshkii's forces before she can gather them, and takes the second map for a 1-to-1 tie. Proxima Station is our 3rd map in this best of 5. We have Koshkii as the orange Protoss to the north, and to the south we have WyScion as purple Zerg. Koshkii, why do you actually always use a fox instead of a cool cat? Are there no cool cats in the chat? No cool cat symbols for StarCraft chat? That's a shame. They really need one of those. Koshkii chose the map. Let's see what she has in store this time around. Sends out a probe. Not an awful early probe. And WyScion might... No, okay, this is actually... This is a proxy drone. A proxy probe. But... No, it's not. Oh, okay, it's not. Never mind. I just misread the way the map was designed. So no proxy probe, never mind. I just thought it would be going down here, but then Koshkii would have sent it deliberately back here, but she didn't. So, but this time around we have 2 drones making its way, so at least one of these people is cheesing. And it is WyScion. Again, 1 drone going in to get a good scouting information, the other one going to build a hatchery down here. Or here? Or somewhere. Actually, back here. There's enough space? No, okay. That would have been interesting. I just wondered if there was enough space in order to plant down a hatchery back here, although it would probably not really work out that well. So, proxy hatchery again for WyScion this time around, and even a second one right behind it. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Double proxy hatchery. What the hell? I mean, this one does not get seen by the Nexus, because Nexus actually have the same problem as hatcheries. They do not see very far. So Koshkii has no idea that this is going on whatsoever, and this is really horrible for her. Not only having the hatchery outside her own base, but also having the hatchery inside the base. That's a dirty strat, and I love it already. So, gateway producing, adapt, but yeah, I mean, these will finish up with full health. And like I said, Koshkii does not have an idea this is happening. Just moves in, scouting once more. Will now see that there's no tech whatsoever except for the spawning pool. Should actually see that there's no third. But still is totally oblivious. Oops, sorry. Damn it. I wanted to hit V, but I did hit B. So it just jumped back. Should really be careful with that. Yeah, Koshkii just being still totally oblivious about the fact that a proxy hatch is going up inside her base. Now she knows. Because there she sees it, but it's too late to react, and now she finally sends in the adapt and the mothership core, trying to attack this one away. But what little does she know that there's another one down at her 3rd base. So she might actually be able to get this done. WyScion can just easily let this die, but is still producing a small amount of links here to just help her out a little bit. But the most important one is the hatch down here with the spine crawlers incoming. Koshkii could actually be able to see the creep right now, but she might be too preoccupied dealing with this one that she's just not realizing what's going on in front of her base. The most problematic thing is not an overlord, never mind that. I would want to say that she does not have high ground vision, but she does have it. With the overlord over here, she even has an overlord over here as well. Could just easily move it in. 1 void ray in the making, but I doubt it will actually help. So finally the spine crawlers are done. We'll now move it towards the front in order to kill off these buildings here, and then the base will be wide open. In the meantime, Koshkii trying to do her best in order to get at least rid of one of those hatcheries here. Burrow even being researched with a few roaches incoming and no detection whatsoever. So once the burrow roaches, well, this is really a dirty build. This is like a dirty build as hell. More spore, yeah, even a spore crawler inside, so that it won't be possible for the Mothership Core to eventually take those out, even helping against these units that she saw. She saw the Stargate from right behind there. And now finally the first roaches are out, attacking the main mineral line. They can even burrow in just a few seconds. Now they can. Finally the first hatchery goes down. Yeah, the broodlings will not really help her out at all. Unfortunately forgot to micro these back here. I think she could have just kept them from being destroyed by the Void Ray if she had just burrowed them, but she was probably too busy dealing damage somewhere else. More and more spines and spores getting planted down, now finally even getting up the ramp with a creep. Koshkii just trying to do her best as she can. I think, yeah, she unfortunately even built 2 cybernetics core instead of 1 cybernetics core and a second gate, so that even throws her back a little bit more, so all the panic is visible within her base, firing up the photon overcharge, but eventually it will probably not suffice in order to take out the spore crawler. And yeah, the spore crawler helping out tremendously against that one Void Ray that might have been her saving grace, but now finally all of the army units are done, only one oracle coming out. GG! Does this have burrow? And indeed it does. So not much that Koshkii could actually do against it once, yeah, since she scouted it. Unfortunately, way too late. This is strong, GG's out, and WyScion takes the lead with a 2-1. Welcome to Abyssal Reef. It's the 4th map of this best of 5. So, Overlord's moving out. Koshkii definitely wants to take an early base, already positioning the pylon so that she will be able to seal this off fairly easily. Let's see what WyScion has up her sleeves this time around. After having to shower after the last map. So, going for the hatchery first, this time around. No proxy shenanigans. Koshkii will probably just breathe out loudly once she sees that early hatch. That hatch is where it belongs. Would probably be very glad to see that. Unusual, I know. So, Koshkii checking everything. Maybe even positioning the probe for something else later on, but mostly just checking when there will be a 3rd base, or if there even will be a 3rd base, eventually. So, drone going over here, already assuming that there will be a pesky probe trying to deny that base, so already wants to take care of that. Let's see if Koshkii actually throws down a pylon in order to block it, or if she just will move away. Moves away! Looks like a pylon, moves in once more, no, okay, moves away. Actually, I think WyScion didn't really want to expand that early anyways, so it didn't, I think it didn't really delay that base too much. Very early hatch anyways, so I mean, if she had come in here without the probe being there, she would have actually expanded before the 2-minute mark, which is really, really early in the matchup. Still doable. So maybe it did actually delay the base for a little bit. But only a little bit. Still, since your probe is over there, might as well use it for something useful. Overlord flying in, sees the expansion, waits a little bit for the first units to arrive. Stargate in the making. Where is it? Oh, down here. Does she actually see it? No, she does not. Not yet, at least. But there's another Overlord over here, incoming from the left-hand side. Might actually see that Stargate, or she will just move in with this Overlord a little bit later. 3rd hatch almost done. Going for an evolution chamber early on with speed. So we might actually see an Overlord drop with this Overlord over here. Koshkii trying to check the outskirts of her base using the Mothership Core, like Midas did just a few maps ago. So, Evolution Chamber done. We have 8 Lings in the making. We have the Overlord taking position. 16 Lings. 18 Lings. But an Oracle will be out. So, Mothership Core unfortunately not seeing anything. The Mothership Core just moving from left to right to get an advanced scout, so that she will have some time left in order to fire up these pylons with Photon Overcharge. But her main is mostly undefended. She has a pylon, wants to go into the double Stargate play once more, but I doubt that WyScion will actually give her that time once more. So there's the Overlord finishing in time, just as the Lings arrive. So here they are running around. Well, some strayed off a little bit, so maybe Koshkii actually got a glimpse of that. But yeah, right now WyScion just trying with the double-pronged attack, trying to keep her opponent busy at the front while dropping inside the main base. So while Koshkii is just busy having a look at the front, the Lings will just run in and will probably be able to kill quite a lot of workers here before this pylon actually gets fired up with Photon Overcharge here. So 2, 3, but at the same time we also have the Oracle flying in, getting at least 2 kills. But yeah, already 8 probes killed by the Lings of WyScion here, now even driving them away completely out of the main base, so also denying some mining time as well. 13 have already gone down. More and more the Lings actually now trying to tear down this assimilator over here, because it's actually the building with very few health, and WyScion was actually positive that she might be able to take it down. Now moves into the natural base, has almost taken out the Adept, and will now open up that pathway here so that more and more Lings will be able to stream in. Finally the Oracles are at home, but they are out of energy, so no availability of those to shoot down these Lings over here. We're running into the Photon Overcharge for a little bit now. Finally Void Ray is out, the Mothership Core comes back, does have enough energy for a Photon Overcharge, but Koshkii losing so many more workers here. 17 more, 18 more, 19. Oh, this actually hurts such a lot. 34 workers killed, 35 now. Incomplete. Woo! While being on 3 bases herself? That... I mean... I know I'm the caster, I know I'm supposed to hype this up, but I don't know. I mean, I guess you guys are with me when saying that this is looking seriously grim. 36 army supply to 70. I mean, let's try to be positive. Let's see what Koshkii actually has. She has some air units. Zerg is kinda weak to air in the beginning. WyScion does not really have that many queens, but she has a queen and a spore everywhere, so there's no real chance to deal that much damage with an Oracle or a Void Ray. I mean, Void Rays would even take quite some time. She cannot even do anything against that 4th base right now. So, whew. I don't know. I mean, the tech advantage is with her. WyScion has just gotten her lair. Does not have any further tech so far. We'll just go into an evolution chamber right now. She does not even have any anti-air tech, but we'll get a Hydro scan right now. And just has the economy to back it up. So Koshkii is still on 2 bases, is still busy re-establishing her economy on those 2 bases. WyScion just moving forwards supply-wise. There's just nothing stopping her. 29 workers to 66. So like I said, I mean, yes, she has the tech advantage. That's actually the only advantage she has. No advantage in numbers, but the problem is that she cannot really press that advantage. She does not really have an edge that does her any good right now. I mean, that was a nice trade there. But yeah, I mean, the best thing she could do right now, I think, is really flying these Void Rays across the map, taking out the 4th. But it will, even that will be difficult. I mean, yeah. Prismatic alignment on this hatchery, there's only 1 queen. There are more queens, but they would need some time in order to get there. 2 queens alone cannot stop 4 Void Rays from taking down this one. That would be at least a small victory. But unfortunately, I think, yeah, she doesn't really have the time. If she sends these Void Rays across, she will not have any defense at home against these Hydras. Although I have to say the Void Rays won't do good any good against these Hydras anyways. So of course, Koshkii does not want to go out yet. If she loses this game, she loses this best of 5, but I think we can really argue that this game is already lost. So, of course, trying to fight your way back, never give up, never surrender, but this is pretty much over. Koshkii at least trying to establish a good defensive position here. Oh, unfortunately not getting the stasis ward down, but it wouldn't have triggered anyways because there's an overseer here. Yeah, the only thing that WyScion has to be careful are DTs. So if she loses this overseer and some DTs show up, they might save Koshkii for now. But yeah, there actually is not even a threat of DTs. And yeah, these hardwares will just take down this Air Force, no problem. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. GG, well played. And WyScion takes the series 3-1.